Hi, and welcome to Moonbeam Connections. I'm Jacqui-Leigh. Today on relationship frequencies, we're going to look at an old flame. And when I say an old flame, I don't mean that guy or girl you just broke up with a couple months ago or even last year. I'm talking about a long time ago. So whether it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, somebody from your past. If you're say a divorced person had a 15-year marriage and then it ended and now you're thinking about that old high school sweetheart. That's who this message is for. So somebody, an old flame from your past that you haven't seen in years and years and years, and you're currently, wondering about them. That's who this message is for. And of course, I do set the intention that these messages find those who need them when they need them. So if this message did find you today, it is meant for you. It just might not be that the entire message is meant for you. It might just be that you're meant to see a portion of the message. So take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So let's look at, so this is an old flame. Let's look at what they currently think about you. Okay, so we're looking at what do they currently think about you. Oh, interesting. Page of Wands. So this is about being enthusiastic, exploring, creativity, right? Excitement. I always look at like the wands as like that spark of excitement. That's that spark, but especially with the aces and the pages, being that that lightning bolt, that spark of idea that comes in. And I always look at the aces as getting you a brand new idea, no experience, and you want to set off and do it. So like you've got this new opportunity, new inspiration, new passion, that spark of an idea, and you want to go for it. And when I look at the Page of Wands, I'm looking at that spark of an idea too, but we have a history. We've gone through the 1 to 10 of Wands. We have experience behind us, and now we have the Page of Wands. So very interesting in that this is a long-term old flame. Long-term in separation, old flame. So you do have that experience, right? We had that initial spark when you were first with them. We went through life and had got to the 10 of Wands. And now we're at the Page of Wands where we're having a new spark, I would say. So I don't know if this person just, recently you ran into them or recently you got back in touch with them, but definitely there is a spark there. They're feeling, this spark. So I guess since you've been thinking about them, let's ask, is it in your highest and greatest good to pursue this spark that they feel? Is it in your highest and greatest good to pursue this spark, please? And let's see what we got. And we got, the 8 of Cups. Could we say it any clearer? So the 8 of Cups is all about withdrawing, abandoning, going in search of something new, walking away, letting go, leaving things behind, right? So with the 8 of Cups is actually, we have these 8 full cups. These cups are full, right? But we're just not quite satisfied with them. And so we're walking away to find something else, right? In search of something else. Maybe we're bored with this. We've had these 8 cups. We know what these 8 cups do, but we haven't made it to the 10 of Cups and we want something more. And so you're walking away from these 8 cups to go exploring to find something more fulfilling. And so what this is telling me is we should not be going back to this 8 of Cups or to this Page of Wands. So although there is a spark there, and obviously this is from their point of view, but although there is a spark there, maybe you just recently ran into each other and you did, you have those old memories, those old feelings, you're remembering the good times. And so that spark's there, but with the 8 of Cups, it's telling you, we should probably leave that behind. Yes, we had those 8 cups. And yes, we had a good time with those 8 cups. And we did have some emotional fulfillment with those 8 cups. But it wasn't the 10 of Cups. We didn't get completely full. And so we need to walk away and leave that behind and look for something that we can reach the 10 of Cups with, right? Something that can be even more fulfilling. And, in general, when a relationship ends, it should be ended. Now, of course, if we're talking 10, 20, 30 years ago, there's lots of growing, lots of maturity. So it's definitely possible that it wouldn't be a bad thing to get back with an old partner when you've allowed that much time to expand, to go past. But obviously, most of the time, if you've broken up with somebody, it's just best to leave things lie. So let's see what would be. Okay, well, we've got kind of the message here, right? They're old flame. They have that spark of passion for you. However, it's not in your highest and greatest good, and Spirit is saying you should walk away. So let's get what steps you should take, right? So Spirit is saying it's best, okay, to walk away, and we've got a lot of energy popping out here. Let's see, I think that's just too much energy. Sorry, I don't like to take too many. About 3 is my max. I only like 1 or 2. Because I start getting confused. Okay. Oh, look at that. 7 of Cups. Okay, choices. You have choices. So this is all about having choices and using your imagination, and it can be about illusions, right? So we have these 7 cups in this case. Interesting, cups, right? So there's the spark of passion, but this is where the feelings lie. So we have the spark of passion, feelings lie in, probably should walk away, although we have 8 cups, not completely satisfying. And then the 7 of Cups is telling you that you have all these choices. You have all these options. Some are good, some are bad, right? So you may be looking at these options and you may be like, oh, that option, I don't think it'll get me even to the 8 of Cups, right? So maybe I should go back to this. But just because some of the options won't get you to the 8 of Cups, some of the options could definitely get you to the 10 of Cups. So you do have all these opportunities that are available, these choices. And so I would say that the fact that you're even thinking about an old flame probably means that there's been some type of ending to a current relationship. And so you're looking back and thinking, oh, that was a pretty good relationship. But what Spirit's saying is no, that you have other options. You don't need to be going back and recycling the old, right? You need to be walking away and looking forward for the new to find, to get to a point where you will have that 10 of Cups. And so, and it's not going to be all of them. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, if I walk away, then immediately the next person that comes into my life is going to be the 10 of Cups. No, that's not what this is saying at all. You're going to have to make choices. You may have to date a bit. You may have to, be discerning. You pick this cup and this cup sucks. So we're going to leave that cup behind and we'll try this cup and see if this cup's good. And if this cup's good, then we'll go with it for a while and see if we can get to the 10 of Cups. Maybe yes, maybe no. And so I think it's very easy to want to go back to that old flame where you understand it, you know it, you've been there before, right? You have a concept of it, then to start trying to pick a new cup and you're like, you don't know anything about the person, it's will our lives even mesh? I've got this baggage, they've got that baggage, and having to deal with all this stuff. But what Spirit is saying is that although this is an old flame, and although he or she definitely has this spark there for you, there's definitely this, ooh, this could be really good. It's not going to be in your highest good. And there's lots of other choices that you have out there. And I think I need to get you an animal message. We're not even going to go into this relationship stuff too much more. This is about you, because obviously Spirit is saying, nope, not a great time with this relationship. Not that it couldn't be 8 of Cups. Not that you couldn't get to the 8 of Cups with this relationship. But it's not going to be your complete fulfillment, right? It's more of like those nostalgia memories coming through. So let's get an animal spirit message for you today, please. Animal spirit message. Interesting. Sorry, I just had this feeling. I'm like, it's going to come out right at the end. And that was the second last card, I think, or close to the last card. So Loon, ooh, intuitive. So listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. Okay, so what Spirit is saying here is, start using your intuition, but also take time for yourself. So if this is, I just broke up with somebody and now I'm trying to find somebody new right away, Spirit is saying, no. Sit with yourself. Start listening to your intuition. Recognize the knowing you have, and everybody has it, right? We don't all listen to it, but everybody has that, you're just like, something's wrong here. I don't quite like this. And start being discerning and sitting in that solitude and listening to that and recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. And you don't have to, be grabbing at, you don't have to just go and pick anything. And even if it's a bad choice, you're going to stick with it, right? It's about, no, I'm okay being alone. I'm okay being with no one. I'm just going to sit back, and trust my intuition. And as people come into my life, as I make choices, as I go out on dates, I'm going to use that intuition. And if something tweaks me is not quite right, I'm going to back away. I don't need to go fully into it and figure out what's not quite right. Something's just not quite hitting. That's okay. We'll pull away. We go over here, we, go out with this person, and it seems to be hitting. Things seem to be good. Okay, we'll continue with that. And that's what it's about. Use your intuition and please acknowledge it. I know I recently did this where I thought I would go out on a date with somebody, and there was a couple things where I was like, but I thought, no, I can't be judgy. Don't be judgy. And in the end, I should have been judgy. So we didn't actually even make it to a first date, which was good. That was a good thing. But I should have, as soon as my intuition was like, I should have just been like, no, I don't need to explore this further and figure out what that is. I can just stop here. There are 8 billion people in this world, probably even more now. There is somebody for you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this person, and it's probably not that person. So we've got an entire world of people, an entire spectrum of people. We don't need to be just trying to make it work with one particular individual, right? We need to be discerning, and as soon as you feel that twinge of this isn't quite right, then we're going to immediately stop. And because there is another 799 billion people out there, well, it's more than that, 799,999,999 people out there that we can choose from, that we can, be friends with, that we can be partners with, have a partnership with. So I really, angel number. You need an angel number. Okay, we'll get you an angel number, and then I'll leave you with this today. So I know you've been thinking about your old flame, but, and let me say, there's not bad feelings from them. This isn't a matter of they don't want to, see how things go, or they don't want you, or anything like that. That's not what this reading is at all. This reading is, there is that spark there, but it's probably just best we walk away, because we have all kinds of choices available to us. I'm not sure if I did that 2 or 3 times. We'll do one more. Because you do have all kinds of choices that are in front of you, and you just need to use your intuition. Something that doesn't feel right, we leave it behind. Something feels good, we'll continue with it until it's not. And hopefully that gets us to our 10 of Cups. So let's have an angel number, please. Angel number. Nope, that one almost came out. Maybe it'll come out this time. Angel number, please. There we go. And we got 2. So we've got, empowerment and shift. Is that what you're going through? A shift where you need to remember your empowerment, or your power? So we have empowerment, which is 898. Stand in your power and to embrace your true potential with confidence. So just understand, you have power, right? You don't need somebody in your life. You don't need somebody. Obviously, it's nice to have a partner. It'd be wonderful, but you don't have to have them there. You don't need that. You need friendships. You need companionship, but you don't have to have like a love partner in your life all the time. So this is about standing up in your power. And once you start standing up in your power, and you realize that, you do have this potential, you are a good person, and you start finding your confidence, you will find the right person, because the wrong person you won't even look at. You're like, no, I don't need to be with somebody. I want to, and I will choose to when the right person comes along, but I'm not going to be with someone just to be with somebody. And as you do that, and you start standing in your power, standing up with confidence, the right person will come along because you'll notice them. You'll have left everybody else by the wayside. So you're not going to be looking over here when the perfect person is coming in over here. Plus the type of person you will choose will be different, right? You'll end up choosing somebody who is confident in themselves too, right? And so it's like two independent people coming together out of choice instead of two completely dependent people coming together because they need each other, right? And being enmeshed, and I can't leave you because I just need to have somebody, or I can't leave you because that would be a failure, or whatever it is. So you need to stand up in your confidence and understand, and understand your true power and your true potential, and you will find that true love match. And then we have my straight is not your straight, and it's my OCD coming out, and I really just like things to line up straight. So I'm constantly fidgeting and fixing, and then I look down and it's straight for me and not for you, and you don't really care about that. That's my baggage to deal with. Anyways, so we've got this shift. So we're shifting, right? And this looks like shifting, having choices and shifting. So 565, take a look at your life and see which areas need to be shifted. So where do you need to shift to bring more joy? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring more joy, more happiness, more peace into our life. So where do things need to be shifted? Take the time to reassess your priorities and create a plan for yourself. So decide where your priorities lie, right? Obviously you need to go to work so that we can have a house, But is it that you are going to sit at home all day and do nothing, or, sit at home and read books all day? Or is your priority going to be to get out, and it doesn't have to be all the time. It doesn't be every day I have to get out of the house and meet new people. That's what we're saying. But maybe once a week you take a class, once a week you go for a walk or whatever. But take a look at your life and see which areas you do need to shift in order to bring more joy. So we're trying to bring more joy. This isn't just, I need to shift just to shift. It's, I need to shift so that my life is happier, so that my life is more peaceful, right? And take the time to reassess your priorities. Where's my priority going to lie? Maybe your priority is I go for a walk for half an hour every day because that brings me joy. That brings me peace. That makes me feel better, right? It might be before the walk, you're like dreading, oh, I got to go for this walk. And then, which I think is for a lot of people, right? Anytime you got to exercise, you dread it before, but then afterwards you're like, feel so good and you're so glad you did it. And so if you find that after my walks, I feel joyful, I feel content, I feel happy, then that's where you need to put the priority, right? You need to do that, right? Not everybody wants to get up and go to work every day, but you do it because it has to be a priority because you need to eat. And therefore, if you say, well, my walking has to be a priority because I have to have joy in my life, that's going to be a priority, then you will do it and you will set it as part of your lifestyle and it just become naturally part of your lifestyle. So take a look at your life and just see, make a plan, what areas need to shift, what areas are okay, and we're going to leave, and stand in your own empowerment. Understand this person they do feel it too, but this isn't the person for you. You've got a ton of choices. Use your intuition as you meet new people, do new things, and understand that you are shifting, but you have the power and be empowered to do this shift with confidence. So I hope this message helped you today. I'm sending you peace, love, and happiness. Bye for now.